Today, we're not just looking at a list of isolated health tips. Instead, we're going on an investigation to uncover the invisible biological forces that are actively shaping your daily energy, your stress levels, and your physical recovery. Think of this explainer as discovering the hidden operating manual for your own body. We are going to reveal the interconnected systems running beneath the surface, showing you exactly how your morning habits influence your hormones, how those hormones dictate your emotional resilience, and how all of it profoundly impacts the entire trajectory of your health and longevity.
You know that midday crash, or that sudden overwhelming wave of racing thoughts? We so often blame our personalities for that. We tell ourselves, I'm just an anxious person, or I just need to manage my time better. But the truth is actually far more fascinating. If we treat every symptom as a clue, we find that midday panic might not be a character flaw at all. It's highly likely it's a genetic mismatch hidden deep within your biological code, crashing headfirst into your daily routine.
So, let's look under the hood at the very foundation of human energy. Meet adenosine. Every single minute you are awake, this neurotransmitter is steadily accumulating in your brain. It acts as a homeostatic inhibitor, which is basically a chemical brake pedal. As it builds up, it binds to specific receptors, turning down motor activity, suppressing excitatory neurotransmitters, and promoting what we call sleep pressure. It's this profound biological mechanism that simply tells your brain, hey, it's time to slow down.
Now, here is a revelation that completely changes how most people understand their daily routine. Caffeine doesn't magically create energy. It gives you zero actual fuel, none. Instead, it acts as a cellular hijacker. It competitively blocks that adenosine we just talked about from docking at its receptors in the central nervous system. So you aren't actually less fatigued, your brain is just temporarily blinded to the fatigue that is physically already there. You're essentially just unplugging the check engine light.
But here is where the mechanism gets incredibly interesting. Not all brains react to this blockade in the same way. The ADORA2A gene dictates exactly how intensely your brain reacts to caffeine by controlling those adenosine receptors. If you happen to carry a specific variant of this gene, your brain is absolutely hypersensitive, meaning your anxiety, your jitteriness, or your disrupted sleep from just a moderate cup of coffee is literally hardwired into your neurochemistry. It is not in your head, it's in your DNA.
And it's not just about your brain's sensitivity. It's also about how long the drug actually stays in your body. Your CYP1A2 gene controls a liver enzyme that determines your clearance rate. You're either a fast metabolizer who clears caffeine quickly and often needs more to feel the effects, or you're a slow metabolizer where the stimulant lingers in your systemic circulation for hours and hours, silently keeping your nervous system trapped on high alert.
The unseen consequence of this genetic difference is massive. Studies show that slow metabolizers who drink 4 or more cups of coffee a day unknowingly face a 64% higher risk of a myocardial infarction, a heart attack. Let that sink in. It perfectly illustrates how a blind, everyday habit can become a serious biological hazard when it severely misaligns with your genetics, causing continuous, prolonged strain on your cardiovascular system.
Now, you might be thinking, well, I drink coffee every day, I built a tolerance, I'm fine. But clinical data reveals a totally different story. Your biological stress response never truly stops reacting. Research from psychosomatic medicine proves that while you might feel less of a psychological jolt over time, your endocrine system is still firing on all cylinders. Your adrenal glands continue to produce a robust increase in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, with every single afternoon dose.
In fact, the data shows that drinking coffee can trigger a cortisol spike up to 50% above your baseline. That is a massive amplification of your chemical stress signals and adrenaline. So think about it. If you're already having a high-stress day at work, your coffee is taking that psychological stress and literally pouring chemical gasoline on it, locking you into a state of sympathetic nervous system overdrive.
Now, look at how this interacts with your natural biology. Your cortisol isn't just a flat line. It follows a natural circadian rhythm. Within 30 to 45 minutes of opening your eyes in the morning, your cortisol naturally peaks. This is the cortisol awakening response, beautifully designed by evolution to get you out of bed and alert. And because of this natural spike, the exact moment you wake up is actually the absolute worst possible time to consume a powerful central nervous system stimulant.
This brings us to a wildly simple yet life-changing behavioral shift. We call it the 90-minute cheat code.
By simply delaying your first cup of coffee for 60 to 90 minutes after waking, you allow your natural morning cortisol surge to peak and begin its decline. You entirely avoid stacking a caffeine-induced stress spike on top of your body's natural adrenaline. It's one timing adjustment, but it completely shifts your daytime energy and practically eliminates that sharp afternoon crash.
But what if it's too late? What if you're already caught in a cycle of sympathetic overstimulation? You definitely know the feeling. The midday panic, the racing heart, the shallow breathing, all resulting from a caffeine-cortisol collision. How do we physically pull the emergency brake on our own physiology when our emotions and biology are spiraling out of control?
To answer that, we have to look at an incredible evolutionary mechanism. You actually have an emergency override switch built right into your nervous system. It is called the mammalian dive reflex, or the trigeminovagal reflex. It's an ancient, conserved survival response found in all mammals that immediately prioritizes blood flow to the brain and heart to conserve oxygen.
And here is the hidden mechanism beneath it. By submerging your face in cold water, around 10 degrees Celsius, while holding your breath, receptors in your trigeminal nerve detect that sudden drop in temperature. They send an instant signal to the medulla in your brainstem. And then, the brainstem directly commands the vagus nerve to forcefully slam the brakes on your heart rate.
This isn't just some viral wellness trend. It is a profound, measurable, biological reset button. In seconds, this reflex induces bradycardia, interrupts hyperventilation, and acts as a massive interoceptive signal to completely halt a panic state. You are literally using temperature to hack your own autonomic nervous system, forcing a rapid chemical transition from fight or flight panic right back into parasympathetic calm.
But listen, regulating your daytime stress is mathematically meaningless if you aren't architecting deep recovery at night. Sleep is the ultimate biological regulator. It's the only time your brain can clear out that adenosine we talked about earlier, where your hormones rebalance, and where cellular repair actually happens. So, let's explore how to optimize this final, absolutely critical phase of our operating system. For deep sleep, emotional resilience, and real neurological repair, magnesium is non-negotiable. It calms the excitatory pathways in the brain. But here is the massive problem most people never see. Standard, cheap supplements on the grocery store shelf, like magnesium oxide or chloride, are horribly absorbed. They cause digestive upset and almost completely fail to cross the blood-brain barrier to actually do the job of calming your central nervous system.
To truly master your sleep architecture, you have to understand the specific biological differences in these compounds. Magnesium glycinate combines magnesium with a calming amino acid, boosting GABA to help your body physically relax and fall asleep. On the flip side, magnesium L-threonate is specifically engineered to cross the blood-brain barrier, directly increasing magnesium levels in the brain to support neuroplasticity and quiet cognitive hyperarousal.
So, you must treat your symptoms as clues to choose the right tool. If your body is physically tense, your muscles are tight, and you have this general bodily anxiety, glycinate shuts down those physical symptoms. But if your body is exhausted, yet racing thoughts are jolting you wide awake at 3 a.m., threonate directly regulates the brain's NMDA receptors to normalize that mental hyperarousal and keep you in deep, slow-wave sleep.
When we pull all of this together, we finally see the complete picture. This is your operating manual. By decoding your specific caffeine genes, delaying that first morning cup by 90 minutes to align with your natural cortisol, utilizing the dive reflex to instantly halt acute stress, and targeting your exact sleep bottlenecks with the right form of magnesium, you transition from just surviving your biology to actively mastering it. We've revealed the interconnected hidden systems driving your energy, your stress, and your recovery. You now know that your responses aren't just personality flaws. They are profound biological mechanisms waiting to be optimized. The only question left is, now that you hold the operating manual, how will you use it to reprogram your tomorrow?